You wanted to talk about chivalry, red flags, first dates, men not being men anymore, coaching guys on how to flirt, and why men cheat. So there's a lot there. Why don't we do coaching guys on how to flirt? What did you want to talk about on that?
Well, I have some male coworkers that will just like talk to me about them going on first dates. And they're such great guys, and it's just not hitting, I think, the way that they think that it is.
What do you mean?
Intention versus execution.
Yeah. Like they're just so sweet,
guys.
but I think yeah.
They're sweet, they're great guys, they're employed?
Yeah.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
it's the flirting part that is just maybe a little cringy.
Flirting's very difficult.
I know, and that's why
Flirting with girls is incredibly difficult.
Sometimes it's better to do less than overcompensate, maybe. So
you coach them on how to flirt, or?
I mean, I'm not an expert in it for sure, but I could give some tips just to make it a tiny bit better. But I kind of agreed with you on like that piece of it, of like just
that's what I'm saying.
Up your game a tiny bit, and it's not like obviously I'm not going to make them turn into like the top 1%. I don't have that in me whatsoever, but just a little bit of, and I guess a little piece of it is like teach. Like my brother is awful when it comes to chivalry, and so I always try to teach him how to like take a girl on a first date.
Wait, hold on. Your brother is awful at chivalry. What do you mean?
Oh, he just like doesn't know how to take a girl on a first date. Like he'll he'll message me like a DM that he has with a girl, and he's just like, how do I ask her out? And then he'll like tell me what his plan is, and I'm just like, oh no, maybe just adjust it a little bit. Maybe be a little.
I like that because
I think it's great that your brother's not chivalrous.
Why are you interrupting me? Most girls.
Good for him. If you're watching, good for you.
Most girls will see men like that and want to bash them. That's why I saw it, and I was like, I want to help them. Like they need that little push. They need that little. Okay, this is what you could change. So that's why I want to.
This is such great marketing.
Because most women want to bash the men and just be like, oh well, they suck. Like look.
So you're telling me that you see all those men, you see all those bottom feeders. They are in your purview.
Yes, they follow me, they talk to me, and I've talked to them for years.
They follow you and talk to you.
I've talked to them for years. And
tell you what you should tell them to do. Tell you what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
Unfollow you straight away is what they should do. Tell them to unfollow every single girl that they don't know. And that goes for everyone listening to this podcast as well. If you don't know a girl and she's just like an internet thought, unfollow her.
But I talk to them. You don't
need to be following her. Don't slide into her DMs. She's not going to reply to you.
I do reply
I've literally
to them,
done that
so that's the difference. Not all of them do, but I do, so that's the difference.
Yeah. I'm sure you get a lot of DMs though. I don't know if you reply to all of them.
I do.
Yeah. It's good to shoot your shot, but I mean, if they're wanting advice and stuff off you,
especially if they're asking for advice. If they're
whack.
Just saying, "Oh my God, you're so hot," it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna reply. But if they're like, "Hey, Brie, like this happened, blah blah blah," like, okay, then I want to talk.
You understand that they're doing that though because it's the only time they probably ever get to talk to a pretty girl.
That's fine. Then I'll be there.
But that's not really okay. If you want to aid them on their self-help journey, you should tell them stop messaging me, and go and do your thing.
No, because I'm helping them. But yeah, I get what you mean. Other girls, yeah.
Like there's nothing good about like being in a back and forth message with a girl who's you know, doesn't have a chance with you.
All right. You also said men not being men anymore. Did you want to expand on any of that?
Man, I'm so curious what I was thinking when I typed that. I feel like they're just not as, I don't want to
manly
anymore.
We don't hold
and
them
it's
to
hard
standard.
Yeah, it's hard to find them as attractive when they're more feminine, I guess.
I mean, you have feminism to blame for that.
You really do.
I kind of agree with that. I'm curious what your thought is on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, feminism is like a inherently toxic ideology, and it's a social and political movement. It's not just like wanting equality between the sexes, and it's made a whole generation of young men to feel like they're toxic if they try and show ambition, show leadership, and all of these things that are inherently masculine features and traits. They get beaten up. You can see so many articles in the mainstream media where they say weightlifting is toxic masculinity and all these things. Like it's just masculinity is demonized a lot these days.
It sounds like you guys agree with my course.
No, I don't agree with your
Nobody
course.
wants your bullshit.
It's literally.
It sounds like
I agree with the problem. I agree with the problem.
100% with what I'm saying. We're turning men feminine. We have lost completely what a man is. We're not holding men to standard. They're not being providers. We're not doing traditional roles. this is what we need to change. This shit needs to change.
So
I don't know what
For
happened.
shizzle.
Yeah.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You agree with what I'm saying. You just don't want to say that because
what you're doing is you're asserting your business model into there. And what I'm saying to you is your business model is like not going to work. First of all, it's not going to be productive because you're a female. You don't understand the plight of a man.
That's why I have
you don't understand what it's like.
in. That's why I have experts coming in. If anything,
who are the experts? What are their
I
expertise?
could ask someone like you who went from being bigger and not healthy and then turned into that fit young guy. I could ask someone like that and bring them on.
Leverage. So look, if that's your business model, and if you're saying I'm going to fund it, and then I'm going to get experts to come in who are males,
that's exactly what I'm
doing. That's okay, but don't you try and tell them what to do. 'Cause you wouldn't know the first thing about the life of a man.
Obviously, that's why I'm saying.
But you said before you were going to teach them to manifest.
I have the resources to do that.
So you're not going to stand up there and teach them to manifest.
I'm not going to stand up there and be like, this is how you do a push-up. I don't know how to do a push-up.
Okay, nobody gives a fuck about your course. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it sounds like you guys all agree with it, Brian. You know you agree with it. Your job is to come on here and bash as much as possible, especially
we were talking
me
about feminism and you brought up your bloody
Bro,
course.
that's the issue.
No, because she agrees with me.
Yeah, no,
but what's that have to do with your course?
Yeah.
And you guys are all agreeing with what I'm saying, that we're turning men feminine.
Sounds like Jonestown, your course.
Are we turning men feminine? Are we not?
And she's gonna solve it. Okay.
Exactly.
Wait,
Drink
who's
your
turning men
course
feminine?
with her-
Who exactly?
Just $69 a month.
Society as a whole, we're turning men, like we're not holding men to that masculine role that they
And
should
who's
be held
doing
to.
that precisely?
Mostly, like they said, feminists.
Women.
Yeah.
Do you think women should take accountability then for some of the men's actions?
Yes. They should take accountability.
But also, if you yourself, you said you don't even want to get married and have a family.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's the ultimate aspiration for a man, is to want to be able to be married and have that meaning and purpose in his life where he can have kids? And we should probably try and restructure the nuclear family. Wouldn't that be a key pillar of it?
Men are not meant for marriage. I already went off on this. Polygamy is
you don't think that
men.
Look.
Men are meant
I can
to be
understand
with as many-
if you mean from the secular perspective, like Brian said.
Yeah,
it's a
not
bad deal
religious.
for men. But if you're saying that you don't think that the nuclear family is a positive thing,
you can have a family, but you don't have to be married, and it doesn't have to be with one person.
Sure, but do you think that a mother and a father and children in a household is the best way to order society?
I don't think men are meant to be monogamous. That's what I think.
Okay, so your advice to men would be to do what?
Become that. Well, once you become that top where you want to be,
Sleep around your whole life, plant your seed your whole life?
you can either choose to do that, or you can choose. But that's the good thing; they have the choice. A lot of men
and this
don't
is the
have
problem.
choice.
This is the problem with the internet, with TikTok and the likes. We have no offense, but people like yourself who will say these things that have really no basis in reality, when really we understand that the nuclear family is the backbone of society. If we want to get back to having a healthy society, that's what we want to structure it around. Like, once the family fails and degenerates, society tends to degenerate as a whole. And then we get like institutions like feminism, and we get children being indoctrinated into these movements that I probably can't say on YouTube in school. Mm-hmm. And all of these cultural degenerations stem from the loss of the family.
But I just don't think men are biologically meant to be monogamous. I think they're meant to have multiple partners.
I would agree that men biologically have an inclination to not be monogamous. But what I would say is that just like every other human temptation, it's something that we have to temper. So
Got to temper.
If you are a man who does seek to have a family, it is something that you will have to temper. Now, I'm not even saying that I'm totally against the idea of a man having a handshake agreement with his wife. You know, they get a bit older, they don't really park the bus very often, and he goes out. And I'm not even against that. I'm Italian. Woman turns the blind eye in Italian culture very often, and these things happen.
A lot of Latin.
It's not ideal.
As long as they're open about it, that's what I think.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah.
Well, my main thing is, you guys can bash me all you want and laugh all you want, but you guys are all agreeing with what I'm saying, that we have ruined men in society.
Yep, cool. Moving on.